Yes, yes, yes. We are back for another open court discussion live in the Counselor's Corner. I'm your host, David Lorenzo Glover, aka the Controversial Counselor. Joining me is my co host, the Big Bad Wolf, Herb Lewis.
Oh,
All right, that's a long growl. Something may be biting at the tongue, or itching at the tongue of the wolf. We are always open to old and new panel members. So get comfortable and come on in. We have plenty of room. Recap from this past Monday's broadcast. We discussed the future of education. Please check out the replay on the YouTube channel, The Controversial Counselor, along with watching the highlight reels on Facebook, TikTok, IG, and YouTube. Now let's move on to a serious order of business. Tonight, Monday, April 29th, we will be discussing the state of the Counselor's Corner, one of the most hated groups on Facebook. I know y'all may say I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it don't feel like that when I'm always getting complaints, inboxes, personal calls, and stuff like that because they look at me as the ringleader. We will be discussing group rules, group dynamic stages, demographics, concerns, positives, and group imposters. Yeah, that's right. There's a lot of damn imposters running around on social media. And we need to talk about that. The conversation is needed to clear the air and may cause some people to exit stage left. We shall see. Please like and share our video and tell a friend to subscribe to the YouTube channel, The Controversial Counselor. Sitting at 863 subs. We lost two this week. All good. Everything isn't for everybody. For the ones that stayed, much love and appreciation. All right. So we here. Boy, oh boy. Heated. Boy, it was like 90 degrees today.
oof.
Uh so I already know it's about to be steak and cheese steak sub city in the hallways at the school. Boy, I tell you, it's about to smell like straight up subs with double onions when it get hot like that. Them little critters, no, they be reeking uh, when it gets real hot. So that's where we at. Lots been going on. A lot of things happening. But for every now and then, we have to come in and revisit rules and try to shift the counselor's corner where it needs to be shifted or my original vision. And sometimes I get lax and let people put stuff in. But god damn it, I'm getting tired of the same old stuff. Same old stuff. Uh so again, let me give y'all the 10 core subject areas. If I've been saying this often, it seems like post about friendships. Damn, it's nice to see. Oh, you got it with your homeboy, your homegirl, post a pitch, take a pic, post it in the counselor's corner, talk about the impact or what y'all did for that time. That stuff kind of inspires people and get them going to want to post pictures. Family, when you with family, or you may have some family drama. It's okay to talk about that.
Hmm.
Relationships, we always talk about relationships. Health, we know that's big because one of the things I was going to talk about demographics. The range in the counselor's corner is 45 to 54. So we're not no spring chickens. So health
Right.
is important conversation to have. Hey, you may be somebody who just, end up going to the hospital or something and found out that you had certain signs or symptoms that you may want to share to kind of warn other people like, hey, get this checked out. Things like that. Education. We're always going to talk about education because we're always learning. We're always learning. Nobody's never too old to learn, and we all can learn from each other. What is it? Health, education, work. Talk about work too. Got work issues. We got some people that's got nice, powerful positions, and we have some people that may be looking to move into certain fields. So those was that like six, and then just loyalty situations, mistrust. Got a lot of snakes running around too. It child drama. Of course, the kids always got drama going on. It don't always got to be bad. It could be good stuff. We have kids that's doing outstanding things. Feel free to post that. And also the dating game. If you're out there dating and you may have some bad experience, you may have some good experiences, but all that. But what I don't want to see is all the time is the black woman this or the white woman this, the black woman this, the white woman. Nah, I'm over that. That is not what it was intended for. I'm gonna pass it over to Herb. Then we're gonna come back because this is what the show is about, and we might call out a few people too because something has to change, and I'll talk more about like I said, had a heart to heart phone call with one of my good friends, and I was like, yeah, you right, and but I'll get into that. Herb, what's good with you before I go on and on? Because this stuff is near and dear, and this has been my vision for like over 9 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna just, I'm gonna follow up with what you said. Diversity. Diversity is supposed to be a strong suit, but like David said, you have a lot of people who lack diversity in their lives, in their decision making, and also what they post about. I try and make sure that when I post, I take shots at everybody equally. As a coworker who's moved on, used to say, I'm an equal opportunity offender, so I like to post things that make fun of Native Black American females and males, Caucasian males and females. I try to keep it at a level. So when I see the consistent themes from consistent people, I'm thinking, have you nothing else to do, talk about, write about, speak about? Because it gets to be repetitive. And I understand why people say, you know what? I won't mention the individual's name. When she greets people, she says, wear your seatbelt and use the block button. I'm at the point now where
Alexa, stop.
I see the name and I scroll by because I know what the post is about. If that is all you had to contribute to the group, just don't post. I mean, don't contribute, don't talk about it. Go find something else to do. Go read a book. Go learn another language. Anything but post in the group about your disdain for whatever demographic you have a disdain for. It gets old, it gets repetitive, and quite frankly, it wears thin. I understand why a lot of the black women, whether it's in the counselor's corner or on an individual's page, they speak about black men in the way that they do, and they're quote unquote bashing because at a certain point in time, they've heard the message. Now, whether they want to do anything about it is a different story. You can't compel them to do anything about it. So just leave it alone. Leave it alone. Go on and do what you do. Be you, be the better version of you. Grow. But for goodness sakes, man, get off that soapbox. It's done. You want to talk about the gender war and how it's impacting future generations? Do that. That ties in with the education David talked about with kids. That's where the focus should be if you want to talk about black male, black female issues, interracial dating, because the people are coming up behind, especially Gen Z, they catching hell. But you rarely talk about that. So if you're going to talk about those type of things, talk about that in conjunction with the impact it's going to have on the future generation. I don't want to be too long winded because I can sit up here all day and talk about the stupid stuff that people post and how it's just nonsensical now, and it gets to the point where I see the individual or individuals and I'm just like, yo, you incorrigible. I will block you, but I want to see if you can change, if you want to change.
What's going on, Anita Baker, sweetie?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm great, thank you.
I would like to launch. Yeah, I got to go to
Any?
work tonight. Then it's smooth sailing from here on out for a few days.
Okay.
Mm,
So that's perfect timing because we know the LA Lakers are playing in the closeout game. So that means we get off there, and I could just sit back, kick back, and enjoy that game. Greg said, "Think things like people wasting my time posting about jelly donuts." He was on one with the
All right,
jelly donuts, cream donuts.
let me for people that don't understand what he's talking about. I went to I don't want to call up a place, so I'm gonna try and speak of this in kind of hushed tones. I went to purchase some donuts. Now I put myself on a weekly allowance or budget of $10 per week for junk food. They were on sale for 50 a piece. So I said, let me see what they got. Jelly donuts? Cool. Let me get a packet of those. Bavarian cream? Snatch those up too. Yeah, I've always said I have three vices in life: women, video games, and junk food. Out of the three, junk food is the one that I have a difficult time walking away from. So I had to put my budget on this because I need to get this additional 70 pounds off in there. So, I purchase them. I come home. About an hour later, I pop open, bite into one. Something wrong with this. Oh, wow. No jelly. So I go look at the other ones. They don't have any jelly in it either. Now, you can't play with fat people's food, quote unquote, fat people. So I posted about it. That's what Greg's talking about.
All right. Yeah, I seen that. I was like, okay.
I
It's
wasn't
all
bad.
good.
I was more incredulous, and I actually meant to go up there today, but I didn't. So whenever I get there, I get there. I'm not looking for anything. I'm a person that believes in quality control. When you sell a product, make sure the product is as advertised. That's all.
All right. Nita, we talking about the state of the counselor's corner. What's your first thoughts, concerns, positives? What's going on?
I I want to congratulate you on your success in the counselor's corner. I think it could be a little better if we talk about more things than relationships, which sometimes we do. That's cool. Um, but some people use it as a way to personally attack others, which is not cool. You know, room for improvement just comes with personal growth, right?
That's it. That's it.
Mhm.
That is it. So to go into that, I wanted to revisit the rules again. Now, sometimes I get lax because during the day, um, and what I don't like is when people freaking inbox me and call me out because they put out a post and I didn't post it. Uh, Listen, I don't sit around. I might glance at stuff, but I don't sit around all day, and that's what I deal with. So, again, I always tell y'all, if you got something to say, and if you're putting out 25, 30 posts a day, you need to bring your ass on the platform because obviously you got a lot to say and a lot is on your mind. So, hey, why not speak it? Why not speak it instead of hiding behind TikTok videos and other people's work? Why don't you say what you need to say? Uh, and it's so many things. And before I go into the rules, I'm gonna call your name out. Yeah, I'm gonna call your name out because you've been a heckler all freaking the last couple days. Andre Hill, dude, I invited you to this show. Obviously, you got a lot of concerns about certain gender, ethnic background, color, but you got issues other than that. Prime example, I put up a post about Lace Sale 88 team. And I think Coach Frank Rotundo, shout out to Coach, sent me the picture, one of our pictures, and I was like, "Damn!" I had on these shorts. I said, "These shorts small as hell. I should have got cited for indecent exposure with those Daisy Dukes on these small shorts." And so that was that. People know. They said we went 27-0. Here come Andre. Well, y'all couldn't beat Burgard. Y'all couldn't beat Burgard. We never played Burgard. But if we did play him, we'd have been 28-0. We was number one in Western New York all year. We finished number 3 in New York State. We didn't play around. There was no blueprint to beat us. So he kept going on and on about this. And he was like, well, the next year we won. Dude, most of us was in college. We went on that team. So it doesn't matter. How could you debate about perfection? Kept going, just kept going on. And I'm like, hey, this dude about to get the ban. So if any of your friends are listening, and if Andre, you listening, you hear it. And I asked you numerous times. I said, do you want the link? You talking about, I like to have face-to-face debates. Who the hell debating face-to-face? I don't know you. Never seen you. Well, according to you, we met at the Festival of Lights decades ago. I don't remember. I don't remember that. Hey, Daphne, how you doing? But just his nonstop stuff and just the heckling got to come to an end. It has to come to an end. And you're not the only one, but I just called you out because you, for 2 days straight, you've been just going at it, then calling me out this morning. Oh, you ain't put my post through, but you put her post through. You know why? Because you always, and you get real personal. But so that goes into the rules, whatever. So I'm gonna go into that now. I just wanted to shout him out because I was like, you need to come on the panel, but he never accepted the. He never said, yeah, send it to me. So first thing, be kind. No personal attacks. Well, we failed at that. Or bullying members or non-members. This behavior will get you suspended or possibly removed. I've been a little lax on that. Sometimes I let stuff marinate and go, but it's time out for all of that. I mean, because the thing is, I have had people inbox me, people who have been following me since Cocktail Conversations, and say, David, I try to, I follow you, I mess with you, but that group with certain individuals, I don't even want to post anything because I don't want them coming at me because I'll be ready to jump through this computer screen to get at them. And I understand. And I had one of my good friends call me. She is like, David, I missed your show on the future of education. And she was like, and my daughter is she's about to be a senior next year. So I was like, well, we didn't get into that aspect of like preparation for college and all that stuff. And I was like, if I could get material for you for that. I said, we was basically talking about what the future looked like, online education, and talked about the behaviors of the students now, how it's going to impact the future, trade and vocational stuff. And she was like, well, okay. Then she's like, but you need to get a hold of the counselor's corner. She's like, David, you need to get a hold of that. She said, I get so tired of these same individuals, and I can name them, that keep bashing mainly Black women. And she's like, it's just pathetic. Like, okay, I get that y'all been rejected by women. And y'all upset. But every day, like, damn. And it's true. All day, every day. Like, let it go. And Andre, I told you before, like, dude, get a balance. Get a balance. Yeah. Get a balance. Change it up a little bit. It has to be more to talk about than just that. So that's kind of like drove my thing to talk about this again because it's just getting out of hand. Daphne said I blocked a few. Yeah, people blocking fools.
I have as well. No, I have as well. That's why I don't have, and I've been saying this for going back to almost a year. fellas, as much as we may not like the anonymous posts, they are only geared to do one thing, that is get a response. When you stop feeding anonymous posts that are designed to make you respond, they stop posting because they're not getting the desired results. I've been saying DNR for months, and people ask me, what does it mean? It means do not respond. It's as simple as that. You get more of what you entertain. So when you entertain that mess, they feed you more. You ever notice that when I post on posts like that, they don't respond to me? You know why? Because I'm not triggered by it to the point where I respond out of emotion. I just simply take the wind out their sails. So they don't want me. They want you fools who keep running at them saying, well, that's not true in this. Stop. Y'all behaving like kids. Well, they hit me. What did they hit you with? Well, they didn't hit me. They just said something I don't like. Well, leave them alone. Go play in another sandbox. Go home and play with your friends. Anything, but just stop feeding into the nonsense. And if it gets to that point, just lead a group. Lead a group for a little bit. Take a sabbatical, come back. You can. That's an option. But don't make it worse than what it is. You got people on both sides, whether it's male or female, who are intent on trying to antagonize the other. And that's juvenile behavior. If you don't have something that you can substantiate that's relevant to the 10 core items, why post it? Other than trying to incite some quote unquote violence. It serves no purpose. Like I always say, either you're trying to put a brick in the wall of conversation or you're trying to take a brick out of the wall. It seems like a lot of people are intent of putting bricks in the wall to stop the conversation. If that's the case, then don't post. Just simply put, don't post, because it doesn't help to foster dialogue. It doesn't help the other side to gain an understanding. Even if, like David said, even if they disagree or they don't want to, they see it. They don't want to change. There's nothing you can do to compel a person to change. A person will change, as my boy used to say, when the feeling of being the same gets too great. Until then, leave it alone. And speaking of which, if anybody wants to address their sophomores moving up to junior year, their juniors moving up to senior year, FAFSAs, grants, college visits, as David has always said, inbox him, inbox me. We are not against discussing those things, because we know every year millions upon millions upon millions of students are either going to college, trade schools. With the increasing cost of college, we understand that debt becomes a major thing. And there's scholarships out there that people don't know about that we can help people research. Community colleges are always an option. A lot of people don't want to go to community college. Some people aren't ready to go to a 4-year school. So if you're not ready to go to a 4-year school and you want to more, or at least, how do I term this, a least expensive way to actually do your undergraduate, community college is a great way to go. You can develop your child, whether male or female, can develop themselves. They can work part-time. They can save up some money. So when they do go away to a 4-year school, they are ready for that challenge. And it's a challenge. But they'll have the foundation built so they have something to rest on, so they are not struggling. I've been academically dismissed from Buffalo State, so I understand both sides of the argument, both sides of the discussion. I'm here to lend my expertise as much as I possibly can, and I'm sure David can, and I know Anita can. Whether it's through the GI Bill or between us three, we have access to resources that are just not what you see here. All of us have the ability to reach out to people who are former professors, adjunct professors, or counselors at 4-year schools. We have that ability, but you got to reach out to us and let us know what you need. We can't read your mind. You got to let us know.
And actually, with that, as far as what you said, a lot of people are taking that approach with their children, is letting them go to community college just to see how they do, and have them taking like their 100 level courses. The English is getting all of that stuff out of the way. So therefore, when they get ready to transfer over to a 4 year matriculate, then they only have a couple years remaining, and they can really get into the meat and potatoes of their major if they just take like the little general courses. So sometimes that's what you need to know, because also, well, you know, a lot of people don't understand the process that your kid could go to a 4 year school. It doesn't mean it's for 4 years.
Right.
I've talked about this before. It's a certain thing called standard of academic progress that they use to, based on financial aid, and you need to be have a certain amount of credit hours completed and a certain GPA by certain semesters. And if you don't fulfill that, then that's when you get, you know, placed on academic warning or probation, then eventually dismissal. So
Hmm.
it's real out there. But the one thing I always say, and the great Dave Ramsey, the financial guru, say, don't be spending all your lifetime saving for your kid to go to college. Don't do that. They have opportunity to do that for free. They just got to go to
Hmm.
school and apply themselves to get scholarships. Don't be someone to say, here you go, little Tim. Uh, Dad and mom have given you got 100. We saved all our we worked all our lives to save you. We got $100,000 to start off with college. Because
Hmm.
again, that standard of academic progress, that shit could be blown just like that, and they have nothing to show for it. So don't do it. The easiest way to do it is the kid has to apply themselves at school every day, the whole time. And you will see that you will get some type of scholarships if they're consistent with that. So that's the thing as far as that.
Yeah. Also, to
And
follow that up. Oh, go ahead, Anita.
and nowadays they have even a program in high school where you can take college credits and um, and then transfer to a 2 year school and then a 4 year school. That is the one of the smartest things ever. And even if you don't have the even if your child isn't ready to take those college classes in high school, uh, after high school, transferring, going to a 2 year college, like you said, Dave, to get those basic college credits out of the way. That is so smart, because that's less money and time you have to spend at a 4 year school to get those needed credits. Now, I know from personal experience, when I was 18 going to Niagara University, I was like, oh man, I have a long road ahead of me where I could have went to NCCC to get these credits out of the way. And it would have been a
Yeah.
lot cheaper to go to NCCC than to NU. But it was a whole
The
lot cheaper to it was a whole lot cheaper to join the military and get that free college.
Hmm.
Yeah, the courses she's talking about, just in case people are unaware, they're called AP courses, and AP stands for Advanced Placement. There's a young lady who I actually had the privilege of working with, I suppose I should say. She's got a degree in hospitality and tourism. She did that in, I believe, 3 years. And when I heard, I said, "So what did you do?" She said, "When she was in high school, she took AP courses." I said, "Ah, now it makes sense." The time for people, parents, especially, listen up. If we have kids that are at that age or grandkids, I've often talked about the 530-39 savings plan. When your kid is born, your grandkid, start that immediately. I don't care if you only contribute $4 or $5 every pay period. That money adds up over the course of a decade. You figure your kid is in school for 12 years. You can have $30,000, $40,000 for that child to do what that child wants to. So the time to start planning for your kid's future is the moment that they are born. I know it sounds like a whole lot of work. I know it sounds tedious. You're saying, who wants to worry about that? As a parent, and I always say this, you don't have a job. Nobody is ever going to give you a W 2 for being a parent. It's a responsibility. Take the responsibility of planning for your child's future. So when that child becomes of age, whether they decide to go to a 2-year school out of college, take blue a blue get a trade. I was going to call it blue collar, white collar, doesn't matter. They have that nest egg, so they're not pressed into making a bad decision because they want to join their comrades, because they want to join their friends. They don't want to be left alone. Sometimes being left alone is a good thing. It allows you to focus on the self. It allows you to make the decision that's best for you without the input of everybody else saying, well, I'm going to school here, you should go to school here, or you should go to school here, or they got good looking girls, they got good looking guys. It cuts that out. So that individual actually gets to focus on what they need going forward. Because as we live now, the world is a changing place. So, and Dane off the post about, is there a real need for college? Is there more of a need for people to open a business and transition from being a college student to an owner to a CEO? I might disagree on some things, but it has a lot of merit. And those are the things that people need to, when your child hits about 10, 11 years old, 6th, 7th grade, that's the time you need to actually start to sit down and talk to him or her. Indian cultures do this. Their kids don't get a choice in what they want to be. They're directed to STEM fields. Why? Because they pay the bills. Same thing with a lot of Asian cultures. If you've never heard of the book Tiger Mom, pick it up, go read it, PDF, whatever you do. These are the things that we as American people, we don't really do. We don't get into it because we think, oh, well, they'll make a way I did. Don't leave it to chance. Make sure. Give your child every opportunity to succeed that you may not have had.
And if you know it was hard for you to struggle, why would you want that for your child? Set them up for success.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just, again, the thousands and hundreds of things that we could talk about instead of in the counselor's corner, which the vision was intended for. And basically, let me just, I pulled that up as far as, I don't know how that, in a nutshell, basically, the objective of the group is basically to talk about everyday life situations and kind of learning and growing from each other's perspectives. So that's what we were dealing with. Everyday life situations. That's
successes and failures.
Yeah, good, bad, or indifferent. But people get chiming in, giving their perspectives, because that's how it all evolved based on my book, Cocktail Conversations, where I was posting about certain scenarios. And people enjoyed that, and they would comment, give their feedback based on their perspectives. But then, again, certain things called group dynamics, and we're going to get into that shortly too. But I want to finish going through these rules because that's important. So second one was be civil and respect other people's opinion, perspective, even though you may not agree. You don't have to agree. You can voice that you disagree, and you can give feedback why you disagree. But all the name calling and the memes and all of that stuff, that's child play, whatever. And if you don't like something, keep strolling by. Keep strolling by. If you see something like, that ain't for me. But the problem is, some of y'all don't have no restraint. Y'all can't help it. That you have to say something, even if it's something not meant. The person could say for all women. Then you got some men saying something, or all men. Then you got women saying something. Damn, show some self-control. 3, stick to the topic and narrative posted. I can't, that's a pet peeve. If somebody's posting a scenario or something, and it's one particular person that always try to switch the narrative, and her responses is the reverse of what a man would do, and everything she do is reverse of what men say. And I've called her out many times. Like, are you gonna ever think for yourself? Are you gonna ever think? And that's her thing. Well, we can flip that around and say about we're not talking about that. If you come up with a scenario, then post it or take that shit to your page and post it. But right now, this is what we're dealing in hand. The situation about this guy, this woman, and anybody know me with my writing style, the men and the women gonna get a bit of the blame. It's not just gonna be one sided. It's gonna be something that the man could have did as well that may have fostered or kind of limited that relationship. So that's number 3. 4, report rule breaking. Listen, I'm not. I don't sit there and monitor everything that goes on. So if you feel somebody, you want to report somebody, go ahead and report them. Report them, especially if they're the same rule breakers every time. Report them. Then sooner or later, Facebook will handle it, and eventually they'll be in a Facebook jail and maybe removed from all groups and all of that stuff. Let them handle it, because I'm not gonna go through and sift through every post and comment. So get the rule breakers. 5, accept constructive criticism. And people are going to call you out. Again, like I said in my promo, this ain't Candyland or the Disney Channel. You post something, you got to expect somebody's going to come back with something. They don't have to come back with nothing personal, but they could say, I disagree. And again, like I said earlier, this is why I disagree. Or people might say, where you get that information from? Well, I can tell you right now, you ask me where you get the information from, I may know it, might have it right there for you, but I ain't about to post that shit for you, whatever. No, you find out. You prove to me what I'm saying is wrong. You do your research, because I know I got it from somewhere. Other people, they like to, put the links and articles and all that stuff. I'm not doing all that. So that's just that. Critique, number 6, critique responses, not people. That's an issue too. Focus on the response. Focus on what you want to respond to, not that particular individual. Sometimes, and I see why some people said, David, I want to comment, but I know how people respond, and they know that person, that those certain individuals gonna make it personal, so they say I stop responding. I don't want
Which
people
is another.
that ran away. Go
Which
ahead.
is another reason why some people post anonymous. They don't want the attacks.
But see, the thing about that is this, Anita. When people post anonymous, they're not doing it in good faith. In other words, they're doing it with the intent to agonize. Because if you're posting something with the intent of getting an answer, then post it truthfully. You have a lot of people, and I'm not here to say who's doing what. You have a lot of people that will post, and their intent is not to get the honest answer. Their intent is to be disruptive, because that's their life. That's where they live at. I have no problem posting anything at any time about anything. Just like when I talk about here, when I cite statistics, I tell people the website I got them from, so they can go verify that what I'm talking about is actually valid. It has some merit. Now, what a lot of people do is they'll take an element of a story or whatever the case happens to be, and they'll try and use that and bend it so it fits a narrative. That's the disingenuous nature of a lot of people. And that's what people have to be on guard for. That's why I would say I read what is said, and then I go look to see if that is actually true. Because like I said, a lot of people will take snippets. They would case in point, when they talked about more single women owning more homes than men. It is true. I went and looked that up,
What
but
was
they
that?
won't. There was a post in the council's corner maybe about a month and a half or so ago, and it talked about that more single women own more homes than single men. Now, when I first read it, I was like, that's not accurate. But I went and looked at the parameters under which they were talking about, and it turned out to be accurate. Now, they'll use that to try and slight men, saying men aren't earning enough money. The only thing about that is this: most men, if they purchase a home, what are they doing it for? Men purchase homes for the potential of having a family, being that men aren't fathering kids the way men were a generation ago, and men don't see the need for that expenditure. Men aren't buying homes, they're renting places to live. This is the kind of things that are not being talked about in those particular posts. And people, and some men, they wanted to be offended because they're a single man and they may not own a home. Embrace who you are. If you rent, say, yeah, I don't own a home, I rent. I tell people all the time, I don't have a car. You think it stops me from dating? You think it stops me from going out? No. Be who you are. Be upfront. Be unabashed about your situation. That way, nobody can use it against you. The more you run from something, the faster it's going to follow you. You can't outrun who you are. So if you're unattractive, you're overweight, guess what? Your shadow's right there. And your shadow's, hello, I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. And people are running from who they are. If you don't like who you are, you don't like your circumstances or situation, change it. You're empowered to do it just by virtue of you existing. But don't keep trying to hide from it. And then when somebody says something about it, you want to be offended. Be offended by your lack of effort.
And I think that's the bigger issue, that people don't want to address, that they're really not happy with who they are. There's a lot of people unhappy with who they are. Most people won't admit it. They may admit it behind closed doors with certain individuals. Uh, I guess you would. I mean, we've had people over the years that would voice that they wasn't happy, and they would write like long posts and stuff. I remember this one young guy. I don't know what happened to him, but we tried to get him to stay in. He pretty much was using this as therapy, and he was
Yeah,
always
a lot of
posting
people do.
certain stuff. And then I don't. Then he would post stuff. He would, and I don't know if I told him to, kind of slow down, and he kind of got offended by that. Shit, hell no. He might be Andre Hill. I don't know. He might have resurfaced, but whoever, I forgot the guy's name, and I wouldn't call it out anyway. But he was posting, heavy on stuff. But then it was certain things he would say that I said, had to tell him, like, you need to slow down, and he kind of got upset with that. But people use it for different reasons. But again, like I said, a lot of people, or like Herb said, a lot of people may be unhappy with who they are, and they try to use social media as a way, like, pretend. It's like Play Center, and we might not get into that tonight, but I think it'll pop up to my next show. People being imposters. But let me finish off the last point. Well, no foul language. Well, we know that. I don't really get upset about that. It's when you making remarks toward people. If you calling people bitches and ninjas and all of that type of stuff. That's uncalled for. That's uncalled for, especially when the average range in this group is 45 to 54. Our communication level should be much more advanced, that people shouldn't be communicating and have to resort to that. And then y'all wonder why I say it's a lot of parallels with adulthood and middle school kids.
Mm-hmm.
I sit there and see it all the time. Like, y'all like old ass men and women going back and forth. This reminds me so much of adults. And I remember when we had the youngest in charge, and she grinding, getting her schoolwork done. But she said, y'all older people are messy. She didn't lie. She didn't lie.
She's right.
And she was in her, like, at that time, probably late 20s, whatever. And, you know, we was 40s, 50s. And she's like, y'all older people messy. Messy as hell. Yeah. Facts. That's true. We are. People won't admit it, and they'll say, "Oh, I ain't messy," but a lot of us are. All right. So that was that. The rules. So need to tighten up on that. People need to just change up on what they're doing, and I know the quickest thing is to do is to find a TikTok video, then share it. How about being authentic and posting something that you feel or from your words once in a while? Like I said, change it up. And I know Greg said to stop anonymous posts, but I do know that for some people, like Anita said, that they may be stirring the pot, but I think what they're saying is they want to get they want to bring that point to the table, but they don't want people attacking them. So I do know that's why some people post anonymous, because they say you get these, they're in the inboxes and all that. If you don't have no type of connection or some type of clue to say to warrant that, just can't be inboxing people. You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be. And that's just that. To go back and forth with someone all throughout every post, then all of a sudden you want to inbox them, how you think they're going to receive that?
Yeah.
That's just like going to knock at somebody's door. You've been at the park or you're around the neighborhood, and all of a sudden I'm about to come knock at their door. They're going to look through the people like, kind of like, what the fuck they here for? And that's
Right.
the same reason when somebody look up and they see your name in their inbox, it's probably not going to be well received. It's probably going to make them go off more. So those are the rules. And I know I'm looking at the time. And Herb said he got to slide
About
into
half an hour.
work early, but
Yeah.
all right. So one of the things I also want to talk about, group stages, that people don't understand that groups, all of these groups change. And I often compare it to like the classroom environment. So usually the group stages, there's forming. When the group starts forming and everything is coming together. And I remember when this group first started forming, it was based on scenarios. People was answering, responding, everything was all good. But then you hit that storming stage where start having conflicts. You might have somebody that come in and kind of shake up things with their uh, uh, perspective on certain things, and people are like, yo, wait a minute, who is this? Where did this person come from? And they might start challenging people. There's conflict. It happens. Same thing like in the classroom. Classroom running smoothly. First 10 weeks, everybody was settled in. Then all of a sudden, this new kid come in, whether it's a boy or a girl. Could be a girl. Let's just say a girl. She cute. She's real cute. Boys like her, and they like, yo, who that? Other girls looking, they kind of jealous, or when like, oh, she getting all the attention. The dynamics gonna change in the classroom. It's gonna change. It's gonna be some commotion. Same thing in this with the grown environment. Somebody's gonna come in. Now people got to go on, look at their page. Like, who is this person? What do they do?
Yeah.
Where they come from? And that's that storming stage. Then you had a norming stage where hopefully things settle in and people start understanding each other. But shit, I think we've been stuck in the storming stage for a while with the conflict. Then after the norming stage is performing. Everybody, they know the purpose of the group. You're doing what you need to do, and the group is attended for what it's supposed to do. But again, like I said, we still at stage 2, and then finally it's the adjourning stage, and that may be when the group ends or people start going their separate ways. So we've hit that in certain point that some people said, I look in, I just don't participate because of the people that came in that brought conflict. So I expect this stuff to happen, and but like I said, with people who originally were a part of it, they were like, "Oh, I used to love your group. I used to love the scenarios. I used to love the stuff that was posted." But then all of a sudden, some of those kids transferred into the group, and they still been here, and y'all looking for me to suspend them or whatever the case is, so they'll go away. But I haven't done so. But some people, they're getting close. Trust me, they're getting close. They're getting
And
close to disappear. Go ahead.
And the thing about that is this: David had mentioned earlier the report function. What people need to understand, and I'll say this for David, he doesn't have to say it. David does not block people from the group. Not to my knowledge has it happened. Now he said he might start doing it, and that's fine. But Facebook blocks people from groups. So if you've been blocked from participating in the counselor's corner, that's because Facebook has took offense to what you did. Not anyone in the group, not somebody's reporting. Everything that we post in these groups, whether the group is private or public, is monitored by a bot. And that bot picks up certain patterns, certain words, and if you're a repeat offender, they come after you quicker. So people understand when somebody tells you something about your behavior, you may want to take it to heart because they're going to start ripping you from groups and they're going to start banning your page and then they're going to take your account. Think about all the time you spent on your account. Do you really want that time wasted because you lack impulse control? Because that's a lot of what it is. David talked about the linear behavior between middle school and adults. Just forgot to name that quick. Shaughnessy said that adults are messy. Yeah, some of y'all messy. Some of y'all too messy that a wire brush couldn't clean you up. The greaser couldn't clean you up. You're that grimy. And it doesn't solve anything. You got some people that want to be aspiring writers. How about you take a scenario that you have, whether it's yourself or friend, and you craft that, you can drop it in the group. You don't have to do it anonymously. You craft it and drop it in the group, and people can have discussions on it. But no, y'all don't want to do that. Y'all too busy taking what these socialites do, and I'm not saying that what socialites do or don't do doesn't have an impact. It does. It trickles down. But for the vast majority of people, you're never going to ascend to that level. So go get something your sister's involved in. Go get something your brother's involved in. You want to talk about what's going on in Sacramento or California at large about how the laws are impacting people's safety? That's a concern. You want to talk about how somebody tried to break in your house? That's a concern. All of these things. But no, y'all want to talk about the salaciousness and all this pop culture. And I'm done with pop culture personally. I don't even watch awards shows. Half of the music that's out, I don't listen to because it's trash. But some of y'all like to have that pollution in your mind. I don't know why. I'm not here to try and figure it out. I just understand what it is. It is what it is.
All right. Anita, you got anything you want to add to that?
Not at this moment.
All right. So I wanted to talk about demographics, and this is how things have changed. For a while, I think at one point when I looked at data, it used to be like 80% women, 20% guys. Then it was like 75-25. But currently, as we stand, there's 67% females and 33% males. So it's been an influx of more guys are coming. But what's interesting too also that I always say that the YouTube broadcast, the Counselor's Corner, is an extension of the Counselor's Corner on Facebook. Well, YouTube, the greater percentage is more males that watch the show. from YouTube than
Hmm.
Facebook. Facebook is more women. Uh, so there's a correlation, but the males are rising on Facebook. So that's why for some of you ladies have been around since cocktail conversations, that's why you are getting certain pushback from certain guys because before it used to be only a handful of guys responding. Now it's different guys, and you're like, yo, who is that? Who that? Where they come from? You know them? No, I don't know them. They just came. They joined the group with like and that's what it is. And some of them came to shake up the world.
Yeah.
And I already talked about 45 to 54 is the age range. And again, y'all might not think so, but Facebook is global, so you have different people from different countries. And so happened with this group. Obviously, the top country is United States. Then we have Indonesia. Now, that when I seen that, I was like, "What?" But so I guess that's most people that's a part of the Council's Corner. The second largest country is Indonesia. Then is Nigeria, Canada, and then the UK. So, which I thought was interesting. Now, for our cities, of course, Niagara Falls. But then again, I'm like, shit, Niagara Falls. I don't see too many people participating from Niagara Falls because
Yeah.
I'm hitting them on the head, so they might just be lurking somewhere like a visitor, but they're not saying anything. Then Buffalo, um, New York City, Baltimore, which don't shock me. Obviously, Baltimore. Then Charlotte, North Carolina, and so that's the information that comprised of the Council's Corner. So just wanted to kind of put that out there so you can see everything in a wider spectrum to say, damn, we got people from Indonesia, but they're not the ones causing the drama and all of that stuff. It's the straight up United States folks
Yeah.
that's causing the drama. And far as the cities that's causing drama, I don't know. I'm probably gonna say it's Buffalo. I know, rough buff. I hate to call y'all out like that, but I think it's buff. I think it's Buffalo.
You know the funny thing about that, and people probably don't realize is Buffalo actually struggles with integration. And when I say that, I'm talking about in terms of ethnicity. Buffalo, one report I saw, was one of the top 3 most segregated cities in the country. I think about that for a moment. In the country, yes, Buffalo is the second biggest state. I'm sorry, the second biggest city in the state of New York, population-wise. I want people to understand that. So it, from that aspect, it makes sense. You go just about any major metropolitan city. You have Little China, Little Korea, Japan, and all those places. They tend to be based on culture, whereas Buffalo tends to be based more on ethnicity. So you got the east side of Buffalo. You got you have a section of Buffalo that is predominantly Puerto Rican. I think that's off of Niagara Street going down
West
towards the
Side.
Armory. Yeah. So I mean, you have them there, but what people don't realize is this: just because you live in a city that is like that, doesn't mean you have to carry that with you. I'm blessed, and this is never lost upon me. I have a coworker who was from a place that I hadn't heard of until he arrived. The people I provide service to, they can come from anywhere on this planet. I had a woman that was trying to get us. She required assistance to connect to our Wi-Fi. Now, I don't speak a lick of Vietnamese. I do recognize the language because I've been exposed to it. So I went over to the computer, called her over, typed in, "Can you read this?" She said, "Yeah, yeah, 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 yeah." Pointed out, we got to connect it. She didn't have to necessarily verbalize thank you, even though she did. I could tell by the expression on her face that she was happy. It's the little things that we always tend to overlook that have the biggest impact in our lives. But as people in the human condition, we always want the big thing, big thing, the big thing. Why? 15 little bricks can build you a wall, but people want to take these two mammoth bricks and try and build the wall and then wonder why they don't have the coverage. Because you're missing out on the little things. I assure you, as you're hearing my voice, whether you're listening live or you listen after the broadcast, keep doing the little things well. The big things will take care of themselves. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, I think I always make quotes of him. The great John once said, "Little things lead to big things," and and that's so true. And that's why I believe in what we're doing, and I believe in the consistency because
Mm.
there's a lot of people out here doing it. Are they more consistent? Um, or is it something that okay, they have a show and they got a name for it, but you never know when they come on. They just pop on randomly. Uh, I know it's certain things I need to work on. Damn show should have some audio technology, something, introduction music and all that. But you gotta understand me, less is more. I know that by now, but I just haven't really looked into all of that graphics and all that stuff.
Well, let me cut in here for a moment. I've actually written a poem for you based on the education that you do. But in writing it, what I realized was I started from the first grade and working my way up to the 12th grade. I said, well, wait a minute. I said that'll be too long of an introduction. And it's based on I want to say either Grover Washington Jr. Summertime or something else. But I had to condense it down to the sixth and seventh, maybe eighth grade. So it's about a minute and a half intro, and you can play that over while people might be sitting waiting for us to get ready to come on. All that type of stuff. But that stuff is in due time. I mean, what we have right now is fine, it's functional, and and you never know, Greg. I just might sing the hook. I'm not opposed to karaoke. I can carry a tune. I just don't sing well. But yeah,
Right.
that stuff that could be worked out. And sitting on my kitchen table somewhere, and I got to clean it today. So all the stuff that I had sitting around my house, I don't. When winter hits, man, I just shut down. I really do. So my house is a virtual mess, at least according to what I do. And then when the weather breaks, I start to clean. I start to get organized. This year, I have like 4 or 5 projects slated. And the vertical couch, it might disappear. I'm sorry to I'm sorry to disappoint the masses. The couch might be gone. I know y'all gonna miss it, but hey, all things must come to an end.
Oh, Anita,
The end is the beginning.
what's going on? How you know? No, well, we had to talk. I had to bring up that you were part of the Kendra G show, so you were doing big things. That came
I was
across
doing no
my.
big things.
Hey, I seen it was like 30-some thousand views. That's big time.
Uh-huh. Yep.
So how you get
I ain't
connected with
making no
that?
money off it. You know who's making all the money off it? Me.
Investors.
But I'm saying, how did you get on there? How did that work?
I don't know. I mean, I was just messing around with it. I think it's an interesting show. They have, a diverse, well, they have people from different age groups and different wants. And I was like, oh, it sounds interesting. Something different. I don't know. You
You
just
mean what
join the thing and
you mean
I
what she
pressed
was
the
discussing
thing.
at that particular point?
What'd you say?
I said you said it sounded interesting what she was discussing at that for that particular episode.
No, it just like if you want to join, you just press this little thing, and like nobody actually thinks you're gonna get picked. I was like, let me see what this is all about. I think it's interesting, and for as many people as you know she's had on there, there's something good about everybody on there. Whether people are people, there is something good about everybody. Even if one person doesn't find that person appealing, I think everybody is beautiful in some way, shape, or form. And diversity is what makes the wheel go round. I wouldn't want to be with a clone of me because I wouldn't grow. I wouldn't learn anything. And that's why I appreciate being on the show, because I learn a whole lot. And I'm in a whole different time in my life where I'm learning what the civilian world is like, which may sound weird to some people, but I grew up in the military way of life from age 18 to 30 something. Then I went to school, and now I'm here. So I'm still learning, and like I saw a meme. It was a funny meme. I said, "How do I know how to act at this age? I've never been this age." So I think everybody's learning, and we can all learn from each other. That's what makes America, the world, great, and that's what makes the internet great. Because, like you said, Dave, we have people from Indonesia on here. There's people. I know there's people from, gotta be somebody that has a Ghana background on here. I hope I'm saying that right. Ghana. And their culture is just so interesting. And yeah, so I just went on, see what it was about. I wasn't really prepared or anything. But yeah, I got some feedback, some pushback, some positive comments. Weak ass Willie wanna think that he's humiliating somebody, but whatever.
As his name pops up again.
Weak, and I must say, weak ass Willie is not a friend.
Wow.
As much shit. Yeah. As much shit as he complains on his unrealistic expectations, at least I have realistic expectations of what I'm looking for and what I'm not. Yeah, I got called all kinds of names. White supremacists, white racists. I'm like, no, people who really know
That's
me know
what he called
who
you?
He said he wants
That's
my
what
autograph.
He called
He said, I'm a white racist that wants my autograph.
Damn.
I was like, well, that's kind of rude. You people who know me, y'all who know me know who I am. So those people that made Kendra G and that particular show and highlight so popular, they don't really understand that it is all for her bank account and entertainment. So it just made her more popular for her show, and good for her. It was a learning experience, that's for sure. But I didn't think I said anything that wasn't realistic as an expectation. What I'm what I'm attracted. Everybody's attracted to something different. And actually,
well,
go ahead.
I guess what I'm tripping on, if he said that to you, being that you guys we were on here in the Counselor's Corner for well over at least a year together, over a year. That statement, that's kind of wow.
I mean, he posted it on his personal Facebook page, like, "Oh, I'm sitting here eating breakfast, blah blah blah," and I'm like, why even bring that up, dude? Like, on your personal Facebook page, who cares? I thought we were, we were cool, but like you have to use me as your entertainment when I thought we were cool. I mean, nah, I didn't
Oh,
think
so
that was cool of him.
when were you on that show? When did that happen?
It was days ago.
Okay. Oh, so he
I just got a
posted.
lot. Yeah, I mean, people have their different perceptions of what I said on the show, and that's always gonna ring true. People perceive things differently, just like people, Herb gets a lot of pushback for how people perceive him, but I personally know Herbert, and I personally know you, David. So you know, I know when y'all clown on me, it's no ill will because we all joke with each other like that.
For sure.
But
I'm gonna get
people,
pushback because I'm outspoken though. You know, a lot of people, as black men, and I'll speak for the large portion of black men. We are not supposed to be outspoken. We're supposed to sit down, keep our mouths closed, work, and bring back resources to the community. I I'm gonna have to borrow his beginning, BGS, if you're listening. I'm gonna have to borrow that beginning so people understand just what most black men in this country are up against. And unfortunately or fortunately, this includes men like Willie. We are up against not only a culture, we are up against an apparatus that doesn't see us as humane. Or I'm sorry, doesn't see us as humans, so we don't get humane treatment. We're treated almost as if we're second class citizens, to the point where what we want doesn't matter. We see it in a lot of the videos. We're referred to as thugs, and I hate the term niggas, ninjas, as David used at the top. They call us everything but uprighteous black men. Go out there and do for me and bring home, sit down and shut your mouth. No, you can't eat. Go to your room. That's how we're treated. So I understand when brothers are posting in the Counselor's Corner with the incessant posts about black women, because for 50 years, they haven't had a voice. So a lot of what these brothers are exhibiting is pent up frustration, and that's how it manifests itself. I understand. I just want the brothers to rise above it, because it doesn't do you any good to go sit in the pit, to go sit in the mush and wallow with the pigs. Leave them pigs alone. Let them pigs eat that. Go dine with someone else on something good, and leave that mess alone. I've done it. I'm at the point now where I see that mess. I'm just like, okay. I see now posted. I'm just like, on Facebook in general, I'm just like, okay, I don't have time for that nonsense. So I see the post about Brazilian butt lifts, I scroll by. And if I can, I click on the X. Don't show us anymore. What people don't realize is Facebook will feed you more what you post on, more than what you like. So if you're clicking that stuff off, guess what? You're not going to see it in your feeds anymore. All of a sudden, now you start to see more positive affirmations, more positive messages, more things that are good for your mental acumen, your mental awareness, and your mental health. All of a sudden, now you start to see the same people and you look at them differently. You say, you know what? I can't ever believe I was a part of that crew. I can't believe I actually even thought like that. And that's the growth that you should be aiming for, regardless of your age, but especially at this age, because now you're at a point where you can instruct the younger generation. So when someone like Shaughnessy says, you adults are messy, you can say, you know what? You're right. I've cleaned up my act up. I'm no longer part of the messy people. I'm part of the solution.
And see, and one of the things, and I had mentioned him earlier. So I look as y'all talking, and I'm strolling through Facebook, and here's a post that's in the hopper waiting to be posted. And it said, are black skinned women usually more ratchet, loud, whorish, and violent? Again, I've had a conversation with him, and then you come back and looking for approval for that. There's no talking to this young man. There's no talking to him. He don't get it.
and it's just gonna take him a little bit more personal growth, David. You know,
Well,
I mean,
personal growth is going to mean he's going to have to be away from the counselor's corner for a minute.
that's and if you always go in the same circle and learn the same thing, how are you gonna grow?
You don't. It's an
Yeah.
echo chamber. And some people like echo chambers. Me personally, I don't. I try and get away from echo chambers. I know when I go listen to red pill content, I make sure that the people I listen to talk about a wide variety of things. So we're not just talking about dating. We might be talking about childbearing. There might be some talk about economics. There might be some talk about politics. A lot of people, they get the manosphere confused because they only focus on people who deal explicitly with with women and that aspect of the red pill. There are different aspects of the red pill. So some talk about divorce, some talk about life after divorce, some talk about potentially marrying a single mother, uh, dating a woman with kids. There's different segments and different veins that you can get into, but that's all going to be predicated on what you want and who you listen to. BGS has often appeared on here. He's a red pill content creator, but he also talks about other things. So he's one of the people that I listen to religiously. I also listen to a lot of other people, but I make sure that I go listen to other content and not just all red pill. Matter of fact, there's a gentleman I over the last 2 days named Chris Williamson. I've listened to a couple podcasts he had, and you talk about just opening up a door to a whole nother thought process. I was just like, this are things that we discuss, but I don't hear anyone else discussing childhood education as a theme. We're one of the few people that actually does that. And we don't just do it in a segment. We take hours to discuss that. So when I stumbled on this, and I'll post the whole thing in the counselor's corner, but I doubt most people will sit there and listen to it because they don't care about it. And that's fine. Which is why I don't share that kind of stuff with most people, because they're just not interested in me. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn about everything and anyone that I can that I think might be a benefit to me or a benefit to somebody else. It gave me a book idea, honestly did, and I was talking to somebody about it, and I don't recall who I was talking to. I think it may have been my man I graduated high school with, and it spawned another book. Idea. As some people know, I already have the draft of that book set. I got to call my man to work on the content, and I'm gonna meet that July 15th deadline. You can bet your ass that deadline will be met.
Yeah, you better. You need to make it happen, man. You need to. We can't wait for it to come out. Can't wait for it to come out. Can't wait to discuss it on here. Can't wait for the other book signing and live conversations about it.
Yep.
Yeah. And
So I
then
know
that's
Herb.
the. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Herb. I know you probably getting ready to go to work, so we gonna get some closing comments. And Anita, you once I stop talking, you could bring up the point what you were saying. You could give your closing comments, and we're gonna get out of here. But I'm gonna be looking real. I ain't gonna say real tight, but some of the posts, far as the counselor's corner, gonna be denied, rejected. It's just time to do something different. That's all. But go ahead, Anita.
I forgot what I was going to say now. Oh, yeah, that's one of the things about the counselor's corner is like you mentioned in the beginning with education. You know, David, Herbert, myself, we all have different avenues of approach and different experiences pertaining to that subject. Part of what, like I said, which part of what makes the world go round. People have different experiences and add to it and diversity. So other than that, yeah, I got a lot of pushback for the word thug, which does not pertain to the Black culture. where people got
You
that
ask
from,
Yeah.
but
people,
it
this
does
is the funny
not.
thing about that. If you were to ask people where the origin of that word came from, they would not have a clue. This
Exactly.
is
I
why,
know where the origin came
this
from,
is why,
and I know how it came from.
yeah,
But
this is why I don't get
when,
into a lot of
right,
people when it comes to certain things.
right. But that's why I got a lot of pushback calling me a racist because I said the word thug, which has nothing. And if black people,
Crazy.
want to correlate thug to black culture, that's really sad. That's really sad. I don't discriminate whatsoever. A thug is a thug. If there's a white guy coming towards me and he looks suspicious, and I know he's been on the news for being in jail for criminal activity, I'm gonna be cautious. Like, it does not pertain to black culture. So just to clear the air for everybody who wants to think I'm racist, this and that and the other. No, I have realistic expectations. I want a classy man. Maybe that's a better term I can use. And that I don't just date, I date who I date. Everybody dates who they like. If they're, I don't necessarily have a preference. My preference
Yeah,
is whoever treats me well.
I wouldn't even put too much stock in that because people who really decipher that and that's what they came up with is dealing with a limited circle of influence to begin with to say, oh, she's racist because you said because the video came up with that guy and all that stuff. It's just I never
Yeah.
took it like that, and maybe because my thought process expands wider than just that. And I always talk about KYP, know your personnel. When you know or you've been on here with someone for over years, and when you talk about perspectives and talk about dating and all that stuff, you know not to put out a statement, talk about somebody's white supremacist and all that shit. That's real limited. The thought process right there. That's real limited, and it's sad that that individual went that route based on that conversation from that video. That's bad.
Yeah. And then that individual posted on his personal Facebook and like poked fun. I'm like, dude, I hired you. I gave you my business when I could have, hired somebody else. And I thought we were cool, and now like, this is how you treat people. Like, that's just, I thought that was rude. And the, I'll tell you another thing. The 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 guy in that other video that people thought I referred to as a thug, which I didn't. I was trying to transition the likes and dislikes and preferences. I actually talked to that individual, and he's cool. He's nice. I mean, we had no qualms.
Gas
We
station
had
boy.
no, yeah, gas station boy. I actually talked to him. He's nice. He just, I want to make it clear that I was not calling him a thug. I said he's just what he looks like wouldn't be my preference. But maybe, maybe somebody else with locks or dreads, came across different. I mean, I do know a really nice looking professional man with hair, black man, and I would definitely say I would date him. So, but at the time I was trying to use it like he's not typically my upon what he looks like.
That wouldn't be your first choice. Simple as that.
Right.
We get
Right.
it.
Thank you.
We get it.
But yeah, so me and gas station guy, I mean, he's nice, he's cool. We he said much love, he didn't.
Where does he live?
Georgia,
Oh, okay. All right.
which is also, I like Georgia, actually. I love Georgia. North Carolina. But anyway, that's all I have to say. Like, don't always assume somebody is saying something racial. Like, no, it's not. It was sad too. The comments were so sad. Like, they were really calling me all kinds of names: bitch, Karen, Becky, Ricky Lake, meth head. Like, really? You
But
guys have no idea.
and the thing about it is, for you, I wouldn't sweat it because they don't know you, and they based it on that limited interview right there. And at the end of the day, they not gonna make or break you. They don't have no, they don't pay your bills, they don't feed you, whatever. So you move on. You just move
Thank
on,
you. I
and
appreciate
that's
those
that.
inspiring words. And
And
that's
that's
one
that.
thing I try to mention, like, to Kendra. I was like, yeah, I'm just trying to describe things on a short amount of time on the spot in a short clip. Like, yeah, it's a lot different watching it from actually being on there. I could
Yeah.
see where
Got
people
on
get
there, and
different perspectives about somebody actually being on there. And people are just hateful, just hateful. I'm like, damn, well, I think you're pretty. I told a few women that, like, I think you're pretty. Why are you calling me a name?
yeah,
I don't know. It was real
you just,
crazy and ridiculous.
you just some-
Some Uncle Tom slurs in the comments about the black community, standing up for me or whatever. I was like, wow,
you got
this is
it.
really crazy.
No, you just can't internalize that. You got to say, like, damn, hold your head high and say, damn, I really had them going. Because deep down inside, you know who you are as a person. So, and
Right.
they're what's going on there. So I would just be laughing. Maybe how you get
Yeah.
on that shit? Because if I get on there, I turn that shit upside down. Because I'll just be
Yeah.
saying shit just to be messing with them.
Yeah. On Facebook, you have to follow the Kendra G. And then on Instagram, it's Kendra G Media. And then she got a YouTube show. I don't know which one I was on, but I, I mean, I like to see what different people have to say from different places. I think it's interesting, you know? So I did internalize it for a minute. And then I was like, y'all fools just know it's a highlight to gain more popularity.
Yeah, I wouldn't even.
So then it was a little comical, except for when Willie had to poke fun at me, and I thought he was different. But anyway, he's some, I don't know. But the thing is, I know you want to go. I ain't got nothing to do but clean the skunk off Buddy, because Buddy got sprayed in the face last night by a skunk.
Mm. Yeah. That
But
time.
what the hell was I gonna say? I don't know. It just, people are real funny and real fickle sometimes. And yeah, I did internalize it for a minute. Then I said, y'all don't know me. Yeah, it was funny. And I was like, y'all, men and women, complain that a lot of people don't have realistic expectations of what they're looking for, but then a lot of people do come on there looking for realistic expectations and who want to treat the other person well. Like I said, I would like a person to at least make 65,000, but it also depends on how much debt they're in too. If they're in too much debt, then 65,000 ain't gonna be nothing. So you gotta, you know, have your finances straight too. And then I was like, I want to treat a man well. Nothing out of the ordinary that a man and woman shouldn't expect from one another when you're in a relationship. And then here comes old crazy people to push
Well, of
back.
course. Of
The
course, they're
push.
gonna come back, but
And like,
if,
oh, go ahead.
but of course, it's over and done. He was on there, and that's that. I mean, to me, when you know your core existence and how you feel about something, I would be laughing. I would be
I
laughing, and they're probably going to comment and carry on and all that stuff. But that's just the way it. That's just the way it is. That's
oh
so.
yeah, they
There you
did.
go.
They did carry on, carry on. And I talked to a few nice guys on, on my Instagram. I was like, they're like, no, you weren't wrong. And a few females too, black females. They're like, yeah, you weren't wrong. I don't want a thug either. I was like, okay. She's like, this one particular, she's like, I want to treat a man well. I have the same expectations as you. I said, thank you. And guys said the same thing. You have realistic expectations. You're not trying to use a man for money. You want to treat them well. You have your own stuff, like no drama. So like people just want to be messy, like you said. They're not happy with some things about themselves, and that's fine, But don't come at me insulting me, but I got everything from the way I look to the way I talk to the way, and that's fine. You know, it is what it is. I'm done and over with it. I know Willie's probably going to be carrying on with whoever he talked to about it, so he got some other than talk about other than he can't pull a good woman that don't want to use a black man for money. That's all he got. But Willie knows. Willie knows he was wrong for doing what he did. And that's all I got to say. But does anybody know how to clean skunk off of a dog? Because he smells like onions and rubber tire, burnt rubber tire. I got this stuff from Petco. I don't know if it's going to work, but my whole.
Have no idea.
Anybody in the counselor's corner, post it. Yeah, I can't believe it. I never got sprayed, never had a skunk in my yard. Probably thought it was like a cat or something, wanted to play with it. Yep, buddy. Yep. Now he stinks. My living room stinks. Everything. What else you got to do, David? You want to end the show this early?
I'm just about to watch basketball and
Oh, okay. All right. I'll be watching.
So for me, closing comments. Again, we talked about the counselor's corner. We talked about the rules. We talked about expectations. A lot of y'all won't hear this. Well, this will be dropped in the counselor's corner, but clearly, the one person who I mentioned, nothing I said resonated, and then you posted that post about black women as a leading person for violence and all that stuff. You don't get it. Something is off, and I don't need to be dealing with and that's one thing I try to practice, to limit my interactions with negative energy to that point. I don't have time for that. I'm not going to deal with it. You probably gonna have to find somewhere else to go, brother, because it ain't here. And for all you other ones, again, I'm gonna challenge y'all. Y'all gonna have to start bringing your ass on here. You putting, and I'm gonna start logging in stuff like, especially over the summer, people that post 5-6 posts a day.
Willie?
But you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel here. You haven't came on. What's your purpose? Build your own group and go from there. I don't care. It don't make or break me one way or other when people leave or come, whatever. Because I believe in consistency. I'm gonna be consistent. I'm gonna do my thing whether whatever the date is. If it's Monday nights, I didn't had Thursday nights, I didn't have Wednesday nights. So, but for a while it's been Monday nights. So I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. But for the others who watching or looking for something else, you got any suggestions? Inbox me. Again, for a while we had themes of the week. Any of that stuff? Herb said less is more. I always say that less is more. Any of that? You got themes of the week or topics of the week? We can do
Yeah,
that.
can you
So
post like
sometimes you got to structure stuff.
can you post like a
Go ahead.
question? Can you hear me?
Do all that. Yeah, I
My
can
old
do all
crazy
of that.
thing. Yeah, like a question. What your sometimes we need a little encouraging uh to kind of get our brains thinking a little bit
Yeah,
more.
I got the. I probably
And I
got the
know you can
perfect
do
book
it.
that I got the perfect book from one of my leaders that taught me as far as the counseling game is to utilize his book and implement it to the group, and that's where some of the stuff will come from, and people might as well get ready to the shift that it's going to be more of a situation where you come in the counselor's corner. Oh, there's gonna be people bumping heads. There's gonna be people disagreeing, but it ain't gonna be, oh, the black woman ain't shit, white woman ain't shit, black men do this, black men do that. It's ways that you could go about having these conversations without it being the people feel like they're getting bashed over and over and over. The quickest way,
Yeah.
like I tell you, change it up, have a balance. Like, okay, I'm gonna post about this. Oh, I've seen this topic about education. Oh, I've seen this about family. Or again, post some personal pictures and things of that nature. You just got to do something different. But I'm not gonna belabor the point. I'm about to watch basketball.
But hold on, let me tell you one more thing.
Go ahead.
I'm loquacious. What I have to give you a compliment because I really enjoy learning the parallel between the classroom and the group, the stages.
Uh huh.
I like that.
And
Like I like I think maybe you should teach us more stuff.
yeah, it's just a lot of information that I have access to. All
I
this stuff
know.
is teachable moments and stuff. So we definitely could talk
Broaden
about it.
our
Only
hor-
I just
broad- broaden our horizons. And other people, if you have something to teach us, like please post it. Teach me something. Like I'm 100% believe in the attachment styles and stages of change. Understanding the stages of change. Those are my those are my solids. But I like to learn things not
I
pertaining
got
to
you. I
that.
got you.
All right, let me go. Let me let you go so you can watch your basketball.
Gotta watch my
So
game.
I
Gotta
hope
watch my
everybody has
game.
everybody have a great week. I will be having a great week. hmm Yep. I will definitely be on vacation this week.
All right. All right. All right,
My
everybody.
brain.
Hey, sometimes we have to do that sometimes to let our brain relax and just get it away from everything that's going on. And I'm gonna be having a vacation toward the end of May for a week that I'm gonna enjoy, and I'm gonna be in relax mode.
Are you
And then
coming home? Are you coming home for another barbecue?
uh, speaking of that, we got how my sister doing, my niece and nephew
I
having a
know.
for Niagara
I'm
Falls people, they
there.
having a big blast coming up on Saturday. The what is it? The glow in the night party or something.
Oh
Uh,
man, I will be
May
not able. This
Saturday.
set this Oh, May
May 4th.
4th.
Yeah,
May the
ain't that
4th be with you.
yeah. Oh, are you available
May
to
the
come?
4th be with you.
Are you able to
I
pull
won't
up?
be able. I will not be able to, unfortunately. I
What you
really
got
wish
to
I
do?
could. I can't tell you.
What you got to do? Oh,
I
okay.
can't
See, now
tell you.
secrets keep you sick. All right, whatever. You'll inbox me later. All right. So,
Well, I see you.
so
Let's plan for another barbecue when we can all be there. Hey,
mhm.
what happened to our North Avenue connection? Like, when are we gonna start getting hopping on that? Or a
Still,
counselor's corner connection? How about that?
yeah. All of that stuff
Counselor's corner
needs to be put
connection.
in play.
Let's go.
Shaughnessy, what's good? Sean dog. We about to close it out. Miss you. Um, um,
Shaughnessy.
it's a lot that could be put in place, put it on plan. But I
Well,
ain't about
let's
to
go.
do
Let's
all of this.
start.
I ain't about
Let's
to do all
start.
that. So right now, I'm just gonna piggy off
Not right now.
family events that's coming up in the summer.
Well,
What'd you say?
I said, well, we can start planning right now for the counselor's corner connection in September, Labor Day weekend.
Then that bumps into the couple weeks after that is my sister's big 50th, and she's
Oh
more. Me and my
yeah,
brother's kind of laid back, so we don't get
yeah.
into all that. But she definitely celebrates it, so she's gonna have a blast and have everything set up. So that's coming up
Well,
too.
I definitely want to be there. Yep, I remember when it is. What, September 16th, huh?
Yep. So it's going down for her 50th. So and
Okay, well, let's plan a North Avenue connection. Come
that
on,
usually the
Dave. Come
labor.
on, Dave.
Well, we could talk about that after
All
once we get
right,
off
go
air.
watch a basketball game. Hi, Shaughnessy. I hope you're doing well.
Oh, no doubt. What Shaughnessy said, oh man, Shaughnessy, hopefully you can pull up next week because Herb got some things that he got to get off his chest, the big bad wolf. So that's coming up, and that's probably going to tie in with the imposter syndrome. We're going to talk about some imposters and stuff like that coming up next week's show. But with that being said, we out. On to the
Yeah.
next one. Participate in the counselor's corner, but stop the bashing, all of that stuff. Get some creativity. Post something that's going on in your world. And remember the core subjects: friendships, family, relationships, health, education, work, loyalty, mistrust, child drama, the dating game. When you think
You need
about
to.
that.
I think you need to post those and pin it to the top of the page, so we can all remember and reflect.
All right.
All
So what you
right.
do, just post it there, hit pin. You just hit pin and then it pins
Yeah.
it to it. Okay. I'll look into that. I'll
Go to
definitely
my
do that.
Facebook page. I think I have something pinned on there. I don't know. Anyway, I'll let you go. Go watch your basketball.
All right, let me read Shaughnessy's comments. She said, "Oh Lord, I should no class, and I work at 11. LOL." All right.
Oh,
Well, we'll see. Let me know your availability because you know we always appreciate your feedback. We spoke on you earlier when you said that people in their 40s and 50s is messy. Quote that. Pin that shit. People 40s and the 50s, they messy. Yeah, I have to agree.
I'm
But all right,
starting
good
to.
people, we out.
All right, out. Good night.
We out on to the next one. Peace. See you next
On to
time.
the next piece.
Peace.